What documents do you need to sell your house on your own? In this video, I'm going to show you all the documents that you're going to need in order for you to make the sale of your house without any problems. So you can protect your property, you can protect yourself, and most importantly, protect the buyer. So let's get it on.
Thank you for participating in another episode of Home Seller Secrets, where we bring you the latest tips, tricks, and advice to help you sell your home. Your host, Fernando Herboso, broker, owner for MAXUS Realty Group. Fernando is an author, entrepreneur, and expert listing broker for Maryland, D.C., and Virginia. With over 30 years' experience, Fernando has assisted hundreds of homeowners on the sale of their properties. Please welcome Fernando Herboso once again to another episode of today's Home Seller Secrets.
Hi everyone, this is Fernando Herboso with MAXUS Realty Group, and today I decided to do this video because I had a chance to talk to a for sale by owner, and he was asking me what documents do I need to provide to the buyer in order for me to sell this property and not have any future problems. So for that reason, I decided maybe this is something that people need, not just in our area, but somewhere else. So this information that I'm about to give you is just that information. This is by no way implying that this is a legal representation or a legal advice for you. I am not an attorney. I am a broker for MAXUS Realty Group, a company that we created, and we focus on residential sales. So let's get started, and let's begin with what we're going to talk about. This: what documents do I need to sell my house by owner? This is a question many people are asking themselves, and I'm going to try to answer this in such a way that you're going to be clear at the end of this video. So we're talking about all the documents that you're going to need to sell in the year 2021. Although this is going to apply to Maryland, DC, and Virginia, more or less the same type of documents, but every jurisdiction, every county, any state has different documents that you may need that I'm not aware of in case that you're somewhere outside my area. But so you need to understand, you need to ask the right person, especially a local person that knows exactly what documents you're going to need. So the paperwork that you need to sell a home, we're going to get started with the property survey. What exactly is the property survey? I want to talk to you about that. This is a legal document that shows the buyer the boundaries of your lot, the line property where your lot begins and ends, and it goes to the neighbor's house. People want to know if there is any fences or any type of driveways or any type of sheds that was built inside your property, or somebody else may have built something inside your property. So a buyer wants to make sure with the property survey that everything is cool as far as that's concerned. Very important that you know that. The number two, the plans and permit. Plans and permit meaning that a lot of us, whenever we have a house, and we've been here for years, you may decide to add a bathroom, you may decide to finish the basement, you may decide to do some extension to the house. Regardless, you have to have plans and permits from the city, from the county where you live, to making sure that everything is correct, and the buyer has the right to inspect those things. You cannot just go and add a new bathroom or another new floor in your house without having any permits or plans, because they want to make sure that everything in the house is correct and safe for the buyer. So if you have any type of major improvements, get those plans, those permits, and if you don't have it, you better have that ready for the buyer, for the new buyer. Now, talking about this certificate of occupancy, that's another document that is needed because it shows to the buyer that your house is compliant and that is compliant with all the municipal building codes, and it's okay for someone to live in the house. That's what a certificate of occupancy means, that the county has said, the municipality, it says that you're okay, you can live in this house, everything is cool. Because if they find something during the inspection of a house, they're gonna say, you have to fix this, you have to fix that in order for us to provide you this certificate. So make sure you have the current certificate of occupancy for your house before selling. The next thing we're talking about is the mortgage information. Obviously you need to know how much money do you owe, what first mortgage, what second mortgage, if you have a line of equity, some type of credit line, they need to know exactly how much you owe so you can have a pretty good idea what is going to be the net to you at the end when you sell the house. Because if you're not selling it for enough money, you may end up having to bring cash to the table in order for you to pay all this, but everything has to be paid off in order for the new buyer to come in with a new loan. So make sure you understand and talk to your bank exactly what is the payoff of your house for any type of first mortgage, second mortgage, or any equity credit line that you may have. So let's go to the next one. Utility bills. Buyers need to know how much money are you paying for electric bills, water, gas, and you have to give them an idea more or less what is your monthly expenses on this. Buyers have the right to know this, and they're going to be asking you to give them that information. The latest property bill. The latest property bill is the bill that tells them how much taxes they have to pay for the house. The buyer has the right to find exactly how much the taxes are and making sure that they're okay with that, because they have to be okay in order for them to go to the next step, is finally to buy the house. They have to approve of that. The proof of title. Proof of title meaning that it's going to show who's the legal owner of the house, and if you have the right to sell this house. This is very important. Obviously, if your name is not spelled correctly, or if you're not the person who is in the deed of the house, or maybe you may have another person that also is owner of the house, but this person is no longer with you, or you're getting a divorce. Both people that are in the title have to agree to the sale of the house, because everybody that is on the title has to sign as a seller, and they have to be okay. And otherwise, there won't be no sale. The next thing we're talking about is HOA docs. What does that mean? HOA docs, also considered condo docs, is that when you are selling a house and there is an association that is in charge of the building or the townhouse where you live or the house where you live, they have certain rules and guidelines that they must follow. The owner of the house must follow. And you have to provide those HOA docs to the new buyer, to making sure that they have time to review them and making sure that everything is okay and accept the house just like it is. Very important that you have that. So let's go. What's the next one here? Uh, the floor plan. This is something that is not necessarily, but is always advisable for you to gather all your documents, check whenever the house was built. They want to know what size are the rooms, where are they located, and any other things that may show on the floor plan that may not show whenever someone is inspecting the house. It's a good tool to use in order for you to ask a buyer to check the house, and that's possibly going to mean maybe even more money for you, because the buyer is going to be more comfortable buying your house when they know exactly what you're getting. Number 10, disclosures. Disclosures are very important. As you are aware, if there is something wrong with your house, you cannot hide it when selling the house, because eventually that's going to be found out, especially any type of latent defects, which means that something that is wrong with your house that is going to change the value of the house. You cannot hide that under a rug. You cannot turn the lights off and try and hoping that the buyer is not going to see it, because once the sales process is consummated and the buyer moves in and finds out about this problem, they can always come back to you and basically take you to court because you did not disclose that. So disclosures are very important. Number 11, lead-based paint. If your house was built before 1978, you have to disclose that there's a possibility that you may have lead-based paint. And if you have knowledge that you have lead-based paint in your house, you have to disclose it. Very important. If you know about lead-based paint, this is something, it's a substance that they were found a long time ago that it was harming children, and it's very important that is disclosed to the new buyers to make sure that they're protected from the very beginning. So if your house was built after 1978, you don't have to worry about this. Just go forward. Number 12, inclusions and exclusions. Of course, this is very important because the buyer wants to know exactly what you're selling. Are the curtains coming with the house? Is the washer and dryer coming with the house? In some cases, this is in a gray area. It could be a fixture a fixture on top of your dining room table. Maybe something that your grandmama gave you a long time ago, and you want to take that with you. So when people are coming to see the house, they're going to assume that fixture is going to come with the house unless you specifically says that you're going to remove that, and that is not part of the sale of the house. You have to be very careful. There are certain things that are basically already known that they're going to stay with the house. Normally, a fixture is that. Unless you have something, other plans, and you want to take that fixture, you have to disclose that prior to selling your home, prior to actually signing any type of documentation with the new buyer. So now I want to talk to you a little bit about the inclusions and exclusions, because this is very important. A lot of times there's a lot of problems that happen at the end on the closing, because you may find out that the washer and dryer was not included on the sale, and then when you finish and you're ready to go and sell your house and you move all your furniture, you take the washer and dryer, and the buyer is expecting that it's going to stay there. So you have to be very clear on the inclusions, exclusions document that the washer and dryer are going to stay or they are not going to stay. You have to make sure that you put that information, and the buyer has to sign this document, when they're sending you a contract, so before you ratify the contract. The same thing when it talks about the oven, microwaves. They're talking about different type of floors, carpet. They're talking about solar panels. That's another area that's very important that you need to disclose, especially if you owe money to the solar panel company and the homeowner is going to be assuming this new loan. This is a deal breaker for you if you don't disclose that prior to the sale of your house. If you have a storage shed out there, you need to disclose that's yours, that belongs to you, and that's coming with the house. And then in that case, for example, if the light fixture is going to be your grandma's, and then you want to take that with you to your next house, this is what you're going to put. The light fixture in the dining room does not stay. So making sure that the buyer is aware what you're trying to do. And this has to be signed by the buyer prior to contract ratification. Very important. Another document that's very important is the one I was telling you as an example. I'm giving you this is the Maryland disclosure disclaimer for sellers whenever they're selling a home to the buyers. This is where you are going to disclose any latent defects on the house. This is where you're going to tell exactly what is wrong with the house that you know of, to making sure that the buyer does not have any surprises. Even if you're thinking of selling as is, I don't want to sell, you're not selling a car. This is a house. You can say, I'm selling as is, but you're still responsible for certain things in the house you cannot ignore, and you cannot not disclose to the buyer, because that could possibly become a huge legal problem for you in the future. Some of the things that we do in a disclosure disclaimer, the questions that they may ask is something like, if you have any foundation problems, if you have any electrical problems, any plumbing problems, you must say yes, no, or make some notes in case there is something you need to say to the new buyer. They're going to ask you about, if you have any water that's going to collect in the yard after the rain for more than 24 hours. They want to know that this is not essentially a place that may be flooding the basement or something to that effect. All those things are very important for you to be compliant to the buyer and be open to them, giving all the disclosures. The best thing to do is for the buyer to know, yes, I know there's a problem with this house in this area. I still want to buy it. That's a good way to put it. So making sure that you are just making sure you protect yourself so there's no problems for you in the future. Before you go, I want to invite you to go to my to this website, fernandosbook.com, where I wrote a book, what your real estate agent is afraid to tell you. In this book, I'm giving you a lot of advice, a lot of tidbits of information that's going to help you not only in this area about selling your home, but at the same time, it will give you information about how to prepare your home to get the most money possible. Remember, if you're selling your home and your own, just understand you're not selling a piece of furniture. You're not selling an old bicycle from your garage. You're selling a home. This is a huge, important thing. Make sure you do this right. Make sure you do all your homework prior to putting the house in the market. My name is Fernando Herboso, and I am a real estate agent, broker for MAXUS Realty Group for Maryland and Virginia. And if you decided you don't want to sell your house on your own, I'm here to help you. I'm here to give you my advice, and I can give you a free consultation on how we can get the most money for your house at a timing that fits your needs. And my commission never is an expense for you. It is an investment. Thank you. Have a great day.